Hey guys, this is Lazy Raccoon reviewing another VOD of one of my friends learning how to play ADC. In this video I'll be going over any kind of improvements in lane he's looking for, maybe some micro mechanics, and anything else I can see that I can help him with. So let's get started. Skip ahead here. So generally you want to push for level 2 unless there's a specific reason you don't want to. Nocturne is going to have very late ganks, assuming it'll be only on level 6, so really you can play safe all the way up till then, or at least until a dragon. But being against Ezreal Lux, you're just going to be poked under tower if you let them get free level 2. Yeah, the laning phase here is going to be pretty underwhelming. Not much you can do against 2 poke champs. So yeah, this is a pretty good spot so far. See what happens here. Not the best trade. Nothing you can do about that is the support hard engage. Here you like pretty much just want to completely back off because you're just going to take free damage. Especially since the 3 minions you have here aren't gonna kill any of these minions without you being there, so there's really no point in walking around like that. Like right at this point is when you pretty much want to back off, so that way they can't do anything to you guys. So at this point, I would have probably cleared these minions as fast as possible. That way, you could have recalled around here and still make it to lane, hopefully in time to catch the cannon. So since there was no recall time there, you're basically forced to risk dying for the cannon wave, or recall now and miss the cannon wave. And you wouldn't even be able to ask for a gank from Nocturne because you don't have kill pressure. Staying in lane like that also kind of pressures the support to feel like he has to stay. So if you recall, he's almost guaranteed going to recall with you, and then you guys can come back to lane full health. And now you're not even able to farm anything. It is pushing to you, so you will be able to get the cannon for free. Not bad. Farming under tower. A little bit of prep work could fix that. Like prepping the back minions as they're attacking the front minions. As the cannon, as the tower, sorry, is attacking the front wave. And since they reset, you could actually shove this as fast as you can. You generally want to ping your support to help you with that. And then you reset as fast as you can. By doing that, it shoves your wave under their tower, so hopefully they miss the cannon. And then you back, and the wave will start slow pushing to you, and you'll be able to catch the wave by the time you come back to tower. That's pretty unfortunate. Yeah, I generally never recall by myself. Usually that would be a fine spot if you had recalled with your support. Or if you had recalled faster and you knew their bot lane had already based and they won't beat to lane right away. So now when you come to lane, you have the BF sword. You're going to want to pressure and push into their tower, so that way you can have dragon pressure and help Nocturne as he is doing the dragon. So here I would just freeze. Your jungler's down, support isn't in lane yet. They're most likely going to get that dragon for free right now anyways, so you can't really do much. A little bit awkward about missing the cannon. Whenever Lux is on the enemy team or someone with the hard CC, you should really never be standing somewhere where they might be in a brush or in the fog of war and can hit you with an ability. If you're like almost always consciously aware of that, it'll just never happen. Yeah, see that? That could have been pretty bad there. So Nocturne may be wanting to do the dragon. Now would be a good time to place a ward kinda in that bush up here. Yeah, I kinda figured Twitch would come. Overextending past the halfway point is pretty easy for Twitch to come and gank if you don't have it warded. So I'd recommend definitely buying a pink ward here. At least one anyways. And you can place it in the brush right above you, and that way you can at least see when Twitch is coming from now on. You pretty much need that against a enemy jungler that's Twitch. Pretty unlucky that he keeps camping by. Here, you might as well just recall. I believe Lux is 6, so she could just simply ult you. Like, luckily, blue team is like picking up the rebuttal kills, but it's just such an easy time for Twitch when he sees low health enemies on the map like that. Ashe really needs to be around someone. It's actually pretty good for you guys. At this point, you immediately just want to turn around. Just go back to farming the waves. I don't think you can get anything there. So freezing here would have been more ideal. There's no neutral objectives on the map, and it seems like Twitch just keeps coming bot. Being way out like this is just going to invite him to come again. At least they're shoving right back to you. So the rest of the team and their team is on the other side of the map, so you can pretty much freely push if you need to. Still kind of risky because any Lux Q would pretty much kill you. Nothing wrong with just safely farming though. Good CC chain. That was good that you guys turned on him when you saw him alone. I'm not sure if the ult was intended after the Swain pulled Ezreal in. Because Ezreal could have dodged that quite easily. But that was pretty good. Wasting an Ashe ult like that on an Ezreal usually is a huge waste, as it's easy to dodge. So usually when there's like a Twitch, Rengar, someone with stealth in the enemy jungle, you want to put a ward in this bush down here so you can see when they're killing this camp Works great for Eve too, because then you know if she's down there, and then you know you can play safe. One in this bush, and then one kind of at that blasting cone, and that'll just work really well in most situations, unless he lane ganks. So at this point, no one's gonna show bot. You pretty much just want to shove. Maybe can't get tower plates anymore because it's 16 minutes. But you could have walked up here, actually escorted the wave, and kind of zoned Lux off this whole wave. So dragon spawning probably 40 seconds. 2 players are on the map. This is when you want to push. I guess you can't do anything about it because Nocturne's way up there anyways. And we still have no vision of Twitch. That's pretty good. It looks like the whole team is going to rotate to dragon. Not quite the whole team. This is when you want to use your E for sure to check out the dragon pit. Yeah, they pretty much got that for free. At that point, it's not even worth wasting the flash. Pretty unfortunate that I think when Swain walked past there. Yeah, I think a little bit of more map awareness would play a huge role in this. Although you probably had a false sense of safety with the ward being here, feeling like Twitch wouldn't be able to show, but you can definitely get through that. Don't think that's going to work very well, but you never know. Well, I'm actually pretty surprised Brian got out of there. So at this point, you guys really need a tower. Looks like they want to go for a rift, so you're going to be pretty vulnerable here on the bot lane if Twitch comes back. Without a deep ward, it's pretty unsafe pushing here. Like, I think you guys would be able to handle just the Twitch, but as soon as the enemy bot lane shows up, it gets really, really risky. This is when I would E down the lane just to see if Twitch would be coming in for a lane gank. All 3 of them could have easily just come straight up from the bush up there, yeah. Good try, actually. Getting the shutdown on Twitch was pretty decent for what actually happened. Although it was fairly predictable that all three of them would show up. Like, a huge part of this game is adopting and learning the first time something happens and thinking, like, this could definitely happen again, how can I prevent it? At this point, you don't really need to be mid lane. Top is quite pushed, so I guess it really is the only place for you to go. Yeah, it's pretty hard for you to get in those team fights because you pretty much need Brand and Swain right in front of you to stop the Twitch. Quite unfortunate. If you're behind like this, like 9 kills, you almost never want to use your ult aggressively. Especially when you know that the enemies could possibly have flash. Twitch is most likely in that area as well. It's just never a good sign to use your only defensive CC as an aggression. Even if it hit, you probably all would still have died. After you get your first damage item like Essence Reaver, you really want to go into some attack speed because Ashe does really well off for Q resets. Good use of the ult there. Pretty much can't miss the Lux when as she's ulting. This is actually a really good positioning here. So this would be a really great time to go to Baron. You wouldn't need to go with them necessarily. I think if anything, Brand should go clear the way bot. Okay, no one wanted Baron. If they weren't going for Baron, you might as well have just gone bot and cleared that wave. That's just free gold. That's a huge throw. You can't even really follow up on that either. You can kind of W and peel for them. But now Twitch can just show up. You pretty much just want to clear any wave you can and either reset or go clear bot. See, if you had gone bot here, you would have been able to collect all that solo XP, solo gold, and then Swain, or preferably if Brand hadn't inted, he would have been able to collect that free wave mid. Because once you're behind, probably 4k, like, you really want to get some solo gold and solo XP to get back into the game, because the enemy won't really notice that you're getting back in. A little bit awkward there. Happens to everyone. I mean, at this point, it's not the worst because they can't actually get anything out of it. It does prevent Yorick and Nocturne from really being able to confidently go in and do their little invadey skirmish. It's actually good that your team didn't fight here, because losing any team fight here would pretty much lose your inhib at this point. So at this point you're going to want to rotate to the top side of the map, and that way it forces Yorick to go to the bot side, since I believe he has TP, and that way you'll always be able to contest Baron. Even walking into that brush is a little risky, because they had it pinked. Lux and anyone else could have been there. At this point in the game, you really got to be watching where you're walking. Even that was risky. So here you're pretty much forced to play a little bit back. Like, Lux could be here. She could be just in this bush down here. Pretty solid arrow. Don't think there was much follow-up after that. At that point, I would have just followed my team right away, rather than playing around with the wave. Luckily, the team pulls through. You don't even have to use your summoners. And this is where I just group mid, just shove it all. Start getting at least a couple towers here. Not having mid lane makes a huge difference on trying to get neutral objectives, because your mid lane will always be pushed towards you. And just like a minute ago, you kind of got tempted to farm that mid lane instead of help the team, where if there was no mid lane, you would have helped the team no matter what. So at this point, getting Ocean Soul would really seal the deal. You guys are really coming back too. So this is when mistakes are the most critical. At this point, you pretty much should have recalled. Try to never go to a side lane where a solo laner is already heading. Yeah, at this point you want to stay mid. Nocturne, if he goes to that, should be able to 1v1. They're kind of scrambly. Going mid still would have been a lot better there. It's more important to defend inhibitor tower than follow up on a coin flip. This would be an absolute amazing time to use there. Yep, perfect. So at this point, you guys should all be spam pinging Baron. As soon as you finish some sort of team fight where it won't extend, you need to immediately choose what objective you're going to get, whether it's as a team or you go push mid and the rest of the team goes to Baron, or you do a 1-4-0. Lux does have steal potential, so someone should be zoning her off. But she wasted it anyways, so. So whenever Dragon's in like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, you don't really want to just start shoving waves, because then you're forced to stay back or escort the wave to the next tower and risk overextending. Now that you guys have Baron, you should either be playing back waiting for the soul if you're not confident in winning team fights, or all as 5 escorting the minion waves in one of the lanes, preferably mid here. I'm not sure if Yorick has TP or not, but then you would be able to do 4 and 1. Here you don't really want to be with the Yorick, and that's stepping too far forward too. Losing the Baron buff at this time in the game would be really, really, really bad. Like, pretty much griefing. So, this is really, really good. Nocturne gets a solo kill. You should be able to group up and just let the minions... Diving would not be ideal here. You might get a kill. It does work out, but it's generally not worth the risk. Losing any of these fights in any lane would just give up all Baron pressure. And if both teams get low, they can back and get back to defending a lot quicker than you guys can get back to attacking and sieging. Good ults. Bran goes for the TP top. This is when all 3 lanes are pressuring, and you want to provide as much pressure as possible. Yorick should be helping as well, because essentially Bran wasted his TP going top because he wasn't able to pressure. So then I guess he runs away. Really weird that Bran's... I guess he is just over half. Here you really need to back off. I think Twitch just respawned a few seconds ago, but he could be coming mid really, really soon. Okay, he rage quit. I'm guessing their Twitch was a smurf, and he was focusing bot because he knew how easy it was. And after the second time, he just kept doing it because you guys kept overextending or being in a position where he could easily engage. So I think Twitch did rage quit, so that's pretty much the game. My biggest point I would make note of for this game is looking at the enemy jungler, because that can entirely influence how you play out the lane before the laning phase is over. Because Twitch has a really easy time ganking these lanes that are in the bot lane where he has room to move, where there's not a lot of CC that can push him away or peel. and they had a Lux, so that's like a very easy tool for engaging for those kind of ganks, especially with Ezreal too, just popping over with his E. And they were able to pull that off quite a few times with no real warding back here, even up here in the river. And I think that could have changed the game quite a bit. But other than that, the farming, the kiting were pretty decent. Little bit of some awkward recalls early game, and sharing XP. But it was a close one. I don't know if there would have necessarily been the win if Twitch didn't start tilting, because the early game did go pretty bad. But I guess that's the beauty of Silver Solo Queue. Thanks for watching.